Good day. You have a worksheet that looks like this, Density Early Practice. And it has a bunch of questions that ask a range of things about density, but these early questions here we're going to help you with by looking at density examples, notes. So if you follow the pattern, you're going to have very few problems tackling these questions. First thing is you have to read the question carefully. It says the volume of solid has these dimensions, 2 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 6 centimeters. This means it's a rectangular solid. We must remember that volume for a rectangular solid is length times width times height. So we plug those numbers in, doesn't matter the order, 2 times 12 times 6, and we get 144 centimeters cubed. We're going to use this volume in part B. We're told what the mass is. Oh, I guess I better write that in there, 144. I just transferred the number here. Now, we're told the mass is 800 grams. We know the volume, and we're after density. Step 1, write the formula, D equals m divided by V. Plug in the 800 for mass. Plug in the 144 for volume. And when we take 800 and divide it by 144, we get 5.56 grams per centimeter cubed. And that'll be very much like how you solve it. Number 1, on density early practice. Now we're told we have silver, and we're told we have a mass, and we want the volume. So we go volume equals mass divided by density. Here's our 200 grams, but we're not given the density. If we're not given the density in the question, it's usually going to be an element, and we look up silver's density on the periodic table. This silver is 10.5 grams per milliliter. We looked up Ag, spot 47 to find that, and we get 19 milliliters. Next question says mass, giving us a volume. We need to have density, but it's mercury. So we look up mercury's density on the periodic table. 13.6 for mercury, Hg, spot 80. 13.6 times 250, and we get 3,400 grams. So notice we're always putting in formulas, the numbers we plug in answer with proper units. Now we have an unknown metal. We're told we have a volume and we have a mass. What we're really asking is find the density. So we're going to take our mass, we're going to divide by our volume. So we have 3235.5 divided by 450. And it gives us a density of 7.19 grams per milliliter. Grams over milliliters. So there we are. Now, if it's a metal, the odds are it's on the periodic table. So we go hunting until we find something with a density of 7.19 grams per milliliter. And we get chromium. Number 5. We have 50 mils of zinc and 600 mils of zinc. Clearly, the bigger volume is going to have the greater mass. So we go m equals d times v, m equals d times v. First we'll do it for 50 milliliters. 7.13 we found in the periodic table for zinc, and we get 356.5 grams. Now we increase the volume to 600, so we'll replace the 50 with the 600, and we get a much bigger mass. It says compare their densities. Well, you probably have noticed they have the same density because they're the same material, and they should. So you have to copy that out. So both samples have the same densities as they're the same materials, same ratio of mass to volume. The 600 ml sample is going to be 12 times the volume of the 50 ml sample, and therefore 12 times the mass. So hopefully that's making sense, and that will get you rolling on the density early practice questions. If you need to pause it so you get it all copied out, and review if necessary. So that's how you do the density examples.